Good morning. Welcome to the Department of Microbiology. This is Dr. Rajaram. Today we will be discussing about dermatophytes. You know what are dermatophytes? Dermatophytes are filamentous fungi that causes infection of the superficial keratinized layers of the skin. As such, the keratin layer is present on the skin, nails and on the hair. So these dermatophytes, there are around 40 species of dermatophytes which, depending upon the conidia, that is macroconidia, they have been classified into three types, namely trichophyton, epidermophyton and microsporum. We will go in detail a little about them in detail. To be precise, these fungi have been classed as septate hyphae when there are a septate like this, or they may be called as aseptate hyphae when there are no inter walls, then when there are no septate. So dermatophytes belongs to the septate hyphae that causes infection of the keratinized layers of the skin. These hyphae usually can produce either asexual spores or sexual spores. The asexual spores are called as conidia or conidia. These conidia, which are asexual spores, may be again classified as microconidia, which are very simple and small in size, and the rest others are called as, these are microconidia, which are very small and simple. Others are macroconidia. As the name says macro, they are bigger in size and they are complex in nature. So the dermatophytes, in which there are around 40 species, have been all kept together in three genera, namely trichophyton, microsporum and epidermophyton. How this been classified, three genera has been classified means this is with reference to the macroconidia. For example, this is the hyphae. On this hyphae there may be development of some small conidia called as microconidia, and also there may be development of big structures, and these big structures are called as macroconidia. These macroconidia are of different shapes. For example, in trichophyton they are either cigar shaped or pencil shaped. In case of microsporum, so for example, in case of in case of trichophyton, they may be a pencil shaped like that. That is, they may develop like that. Or in case of microsporum genera, they may be a spindle shaped. They may be spindle shaped with multiple septa in the macroconidium. Or in case of epidermophyton, they may be club shaped. And they may be multiple. So this is a single one, trichophyton, which is a cigar shaped or pencil shaped. In case of microsporum, they may be spindle shaped with multiple septa, but they are single shape, single number. And in case of epidermophyton, at the end of the hyphae they may develop and they are pear shaped or club shaped, and they are multiple in number. So based upon the nature of these macroconidia, the dermatophytes have been divided into three genera: trichophyton, epidermophyton and microsporum species. So what are the rest of the names of these species? Under the trichophyton genus, there are certain important species, namely Trichophyton rubrum. So for example, this Trichophyton rubrum causes more than 76% of dermatophyte infections. And there may be Trichophyton violaceum, Trichophyton schonlini, Trichophyton mentagophytes, Trichophyton tonsurans, Trichophyton violaceum, Trichophyton azuli. These are the some important species that comes under Trichophyton. In case of Microsporum, there may be species like Microsporum gypsum, Microsporum adoni, Microsporum canis. These are certain species that are present in Microsporum. In case of Epidermophyton, there is only one species, namely Epidermophyton flocosum. So this is in general about the small description about the dermatophytes. See, these dermatophytes causes human infection, namely the infection caused by dermatophytes in human is called as dermatophytosis. Dermatophytosis. Then, though they are classified with reference to Macroconidia, these dermatophytes or these genera causes infection of the keratinized tissues, but they show certain predilections to the sites. For example, the trichophyton. So, what are the keratinized layers that are present in the body? Namely, this includes skin, hair, and nails. This trichophyton causes infection of the keratinized tissues of all these three keratinized tissues of the skin, hair, and nail. So, just to remember, trichophyton causes or infects total keratinized tissue. This is only for you to remember. Whereas that microsporum, it causes infection of the skin and it causes infection of the hair. M for you to remember easily, mire. In Tamil there is a mire means hair. So T for total keratinized tissues. In case of microsporum, it could be either skin or it could be because of it causes infection of the hair. Then similarly, the epidermophyton causes infection of the skin and infection of the nails. So microsporum does not cause infection of the nails. In other words, microsporum species causes infection of the skin and hair. Epidermophyton causes infection of the skin and nails. Trichophyton causes infection of the skin, hair, and nails. So this is a general distribution. Then, what are the types of infections it produces? The infections produced by dermatophytes is called as dermatophytosis or otherwise called as tinea. It is otherwise, I'll rub it first. Tinea, otherwise called as ringworm. In Latin, tinea means worm. However, it is not a worm, it is not a helminth. But here, it was thought that the name given as tinea ringworm is not because it is a worm, but it produces a disease which resembles a worm. So that's it is not exactly proved, but it is thought that it could be because of the disease pattern produced. It is called as worm. So the disease produced by dermatophytes is called as ringworm infection or tinea infection. So the same parasite, the same dermatophyte can cause infection of the scalp, infection of the face, infection of the body, infection of the groin, infection of the nails, and infection of the hair. So at different parts, the same dermatophyte causes infection, and at different parts it is given different names. For example, the infection of the scalp is called as tinea capitis. Then face infection is called as tinea facial. The same infection of the beard area is called as tinea barbae. If it causes infection of the body, it is called as tinea corporis. If causes infection of the groin, it is called as tinea cruris. Otherwise called as jock itch. And if it causes infection of the toenails, it is called as tinea unguum. or tinea pedis. It is called as, if it is fingers, it is called as tinea angulum, or it could cause as tinea pedis if it is involving the foot and other things. Then the same tinea corporis in tropical countries, it produces a specialized feature called concentric rings of infection. So it is called as tinea imbricata. Tinea imbricata. So these are the different names for the same dermatophyte that causes infection. So what are the clinical manifestation? What is the usual clinical manifestation? Wherever it is present, there are certain common clinical manifestations. This includes, one is scale, one is erythema, induration, itching. So whenever it is present, it usually presents as a concentric ring. It is present in the concentric ring, and the dermatophyte usually starts as like this, and the infection spreads outwards. So that is, it produces a centrifugal infection. It produces a centrifugal infection. Wherever it is present, it produces centrifugal infection, and as it goes on, there will be central clearing. There will be central clearing. So it goes like that, it goes like outward. This appears. So tinea corporis is characterized by erythema, induration, scaling, and the manifestations are usually present anywhere on the body, and depending upon the site of infection, the names were given as tinea capitis, tinea faciale, tinea barbae, tinea corporis, tinea cruris, or tinea pedis, or tinea angulum. Later on, in case of tropical countries, this concentric ring, this is a one ring, instead of one ring, there will be a different concentric rings like that. So this is called as the same tinea corporis in case of tropical countries is named as tinea imbricata. It is called as tinea imbricata. Then this tinea faciale does not give a typical appearance of tinea corporis. Sometimes we may mistook it for other diagnosis like Candida, something else. So it is otherwise called as tinea incognitio. Tinea incognitio is the name given to it. So these are the clinical manifestations. These are the things. So whenever this infection occurs, this infection produces conidia, which are called as macroconidia, asexual spores, which are called as macroconidia and microconidia. So if it is, this is the hyphae, there may be microspores, microconidia, there may be So as the name says here, so how this is, okay, let us go in detail about each of the genus. The trichophyton, let us know about trichophyton. This trichophyton produces a septate hyphae, and in the trichophyton there are different species, namely, for example, there is a trichophyton rubrum. This trichophyton rubrum, in all cases of this trichophyton rubrum, the microconidia are present like pear drops in a particular pattern, just like on the hyphae, they sit like that. So it is otherwise called as bird on fence appearance. It is otherwise called as bird on fence appearance, and the macroconidia is a pencil shaped. It is a pencil shaped. In case of trichophyton mentogophytes, there are microconidia in a group like this thing. And more important thing is, this hyphae ends as a spiral hyphae. It ends as a racket hyphae, or just like a racket. And the macroconidia are cigar shaped. Just like a cigar. This is about Macroconidia. And there are other species namely Trichophyton violation, which produces violent pigmentation. The Trichophyton rubrum produces red pigmentation. The Trichophyton mentagophytes produces different types of pigmentation. So there are this thing. There is another important thing called as Trichophyton schondlini. This Trichophyton schondlini, so this is the hyphae. This hyphae, there, though it is a separate hyphae, each organism, each dermatophyte can produce a typical hyphae. For example, this hyphae may be a spiral one, so it is called as a spiral hyphae, or it can produce a nodular structures. It produces nodules, twisted nodules, so it could be a nodular hyphae, or in case of Trichophyton rubrum, it ends like that, a bulge like this, and it ends like a bulbs like that. So it is a rocket, tennis rocket hyphae. Or there is, in case of Trichophyton schondlini, the ends of the hyphae shows branching, or like this branching. This is like a chandelier which hangs on the roof, so it is otherwise called as favic chandelier. Favic chandelier. So these are the different hyphae that are seen in the Trichophyton group. So in the Trichophyton group, it is whether it is a any species, there are plenty of Microconidia, and apart from Microconidia, there are Macroconidia which take special shapes in different species, like pencil shape in case of rubrum, or mentagophytes it is a cigar shape like that. And there are special hyphal characteristics in different Trichophyton species. Similarly, in case of Microsporum, there is a septate hyphae. The Microconidia are less in number, and it shows a spindle-shaped Macroconidia which is septate in nature. In case of Macroconidia, there are most three important species, namely Microsporum canis, Microsporum adoni, Microsporum gypsum. So this what Microsporum causes? It causes hair infection and skin infection. Trichophyton, total body infection, skin, hair and nails. Then comes the Epidermophyton. This Epidermophyton is also septate. There are no Microconidia. And at the end of the hyphae, there present club-shaped or pear-shaped hyphae which is multiple in number. This Epidermophyton example is Epidermophyton flocosum. There is another type of classification depending upon the infection it causes. These dermatophytes are also classified as anthropophilic or zoophilic or geophilic. Philic means liking. So anthropophilic means those that causes infection among the human. The examples include Trichophyton rubrum or Microsporum adoni. So this usually causes infection of the human. Similarly, zoophilic, that is, they cause infection mainly among the animals, but because of close acquaintance with the animals, human also get infection. For example, Microsporum canis or Trichophyton verrucosum, they can cause infection from animals to human. Then comes the geophilic. Here the Epidermophyton gypsum, which is in the soil dermatophyte, or Trichophyton azole, which is a soil trichophyton, causes occasional human infection. In case of anthropophilic infections, it is a chronic infection, but it is a less severe. In case of zoophilic or geophilic infections, it causes infections in a severe manner because of high inflammation, but they subside by their own. Coming on to these infections, clinical features, sometimes here because of cell-mediated immunity, this fungal infection will be counted. Sometimes these fungi not because of presence in the skin it causes inflammation. These fungi produces enzymes like proteases, elastases, collagenases, such that whenever they are utilizing the keratin layer, because of these enzymes they release the keratin, break down the keratin and produces the byproducts. Because of these byproducts, the human get either the symptoms like erythema, induration and infection. Sometimes these allergens may enter into the circulation and produces distinct bullae, that is vesiculobullous pattern at different sites. Usually if it is the infection is present in the groin, it causes erythematous bulla on the feet. It is called as id reaction. It is called as dermatophyte reaction or id reaction. These are the common features. Then all these dermatophytes can be present on the body, on the culture as microconidia, whereas in human it appears either hyphae and also they appear as orthospores. What is orthospore? A breakdown of the hyphae into spores is called as a orthospore. It is a orthospore. Or the hyphae may take becomes rounded up and produces some storage like this. It is called as chlamydospore. So these orthospores and chlamydospores are the sexual spores. So if you take the scrapings from the human, you can see the orthospores or hyphae, whereas if you take the scrapings from the culture, you can demonstrate the macroconidia and different patterns. This is about the dermatophytes. Then how you can make a diagnosis of dermatophytes. So whenever you want to make a diagnosis of dermatophytes, what is most important thing which is essential? The sample is most important. So what is the sample you can take? You can take the skin sample, or hair sample, or you can take the nail sample. So coming on to the hair, the trichophyte and rubrum are microsporum species are the most important causes that causes hair infection. So in the hair, if it is a scalp, the hair grows like that. So usually the fungi enters through the shaft and goes down, and here then the hair breaks down. Whenever the hair breaks down, it leaves a black dot spot. And it produces a alopecia, that is loss of hair. This is usually caused by trichophyte and rubrum. Then this is the hair. This is what is called as hair perforation test. That is whether to know whether the hair is infected or not. This hair is incubated along the yeast and water. You can see that there may be, if the dermatophytes are present, and if the dermatophyte is like a trichophyte and rubrum or trichophyte and mentogophytes, it causes hair infection. And how it is demonstrated means there may be breaks in the hair. This is called as hair perforation test. Then how the infection in the hair occurs? This because you know that it produces orthospores. If the hair is involved, and if the spores which are present outside the hair shaft, if they are present outside the hair shaft, it is called as ectotrix hair infection. It is called as ectotrix hair infection. Sometimes it may present inside the hair. These spores, orthospores, because of that I told you. This is present orthospores, and it is called as endothrix. Hair infection. And this is ectotrix. The spores or orthospores are outside the hair shaft, or if it is present inside, it is called as endothrix. Usually this is caused by trichophyte and rubrum. Sometimes there is a trichophyte and Schonlein, which is an infection produced among children, wherein it produces something like apart from this alopecia, there may be certain crust formation occurs. These crusts are called as scutula. So scutula is caused by trichophyte and Schonlein. Sometimes this infection is usually confined to the top keratin layers only. Sometimes this infection may go deep inside to the subcutaneous tissues. Then there may be pustules or infective pustules. Then it is called as chirion. It is called as chirion. So simple scalp infection or scutula formation or chirion formation are the different types of skin infection, hair infection you can see. Then tinea corporis, tinea unguum, how that is hair nail bed. So if you imagine this is a nail, this infection, dermatophyte infection, starts from the lateral side of the nail and then it enters into the nail. So usually there may be starting discoloration, and if there is a moisture or if there is a, so automatically though these dermatophytes are valvular in presence, it may be more preponderant in certain areas where there is diabetes, hormonal imbalance is there, obesity is there, certain drugs that they are taking, drugs like that. So in case of temperate countries where they use continuously socks, it is also called as athlete's foot. So the infection starts from the nail or lateral parts of the nail and enters under the nail bed like that and pierces the nail bed, and it may produce discoloration, itching, or sometimes onycholysis, that is breakdown of the removal of the nail also. So onychomycosis is a dermatophyte infection of the nail toenails. Sometimes it may go beyond and it may cause onycholysis. Then if it is still further, it may causes tinea pedis and tinea like that, it may spread all over the body. That is about this thing. So we know the tinea infection of the nails, we know the tinea infection of the hair and tinea infection of the body, anywhere in the body. So we want the samples. So take either the hair sample or nail scrapings or the skin scrapings. So specific sites should be taken. Then because this is a hard and dead tissue, we can't see under microscope properly. So keep these scrapings with the 10% potassium hydroxide for 10 minutes. So take these scrapings on a slide, add a drop of or 2 drops of 10% potassium hydroxide and keep it aside for 10 to 15 minutes. Then this potassium hydroxide dissolves all the present keratin layer. Then what is left over? Only the hyphae is left over, and this hyphae can be seen under the microscope. So dissolving under KVH and seeing under microscope. Apart from that, you can see, take the scrapings and it can be cultured in the SDA, Sabrods dextrose agar. In Sabrods dextrose agar, after 2 to 4 weeks of time, these dermatophytes will be seen as a growth. For example, if you take Trichophyton rubrum, you can see a powdery and reddish reverse red pigmentation, or Trichophyton violaceum, you can see powdery growth, reverse violet growth. Like that you can see, and the same can be taken and with a examine under the microscope by doing LC, lactophenol cotton blue. Lactophenol cotton blue is the staining. If you do it under lactophenol cotton blue, you can demonstrate the hyphae, you can demonstrate the microconidia. So for example, the Trichophyton rubrum is the 70%, causes 76% of all the dermatophytes infection. So usually you can see the barred and fence appearance of microconidia, and you can see the pencil shaped macroconidia. So that is the one method. Another method is UV lamp. Because hair is infected, if the hair is infected, it may produce a pigment called as pteridine. Pteridine gives fluorescence. So if the hair is infected, if is suspected, you take this Woods lamp. Woods lamp is nothing but UV rays. This UV rays, if it is focused on the hair, if because of presence of pteridine is there, it may exhibit fluorescence. Presence of fluorescence indicates that there is a dermatophyte infection. Similarly, instead of all these things, take the scrapings and put it on a what is a special media called as dermatophyte test medium. What is a special medium is called as dermatophyte test medium. For after a period of 2 to 4 weeks, if the sample contains dermatophytes, then it definitely shows a red pigmentation, red color, red pigment. So just presence of red pigment itself is the indication that the person is having dermatophyte infection. So once you have made a diagnosis, you know the pathogenesis, you know the reasons, then coming to the treatment. Once you know it is confirmed the treatment includes two parts, namely topical treatment and the systemic or oral treatment. If the dermatophyte infection is more than 2/3 of the body, you have to go for oral treatment, or else topical treatment is sufficient. The topicals here usually antifungals like clotrimazole application, 2% clotrimazole or tolnafnet are sufficient. If more than 2/3 of the body is involved, you can go for griseofulvin and you can go for fluconozoles or itraconozoles. However, though it is a worldwide in distribution, is there any recurrence of fungal infection even after treatment? Then think, is it obese, or rule out any hormonal conditions, rule out or any immunosuppressive conditions. In those people, this fungal infection may produce a severe form of infection and shows different types of recurrence in many times. That is about dermatophytes. And prevention, health education, avoiding moisture, avoiding good aeration, that's all.